What up, Bandidos? We are live. We are going to be jumping into the Division 2 and exploring more of this summertime event, talking shop, and geez, what else? Killing things.
Trying to dig the way out. I feel like an attack dog. How late you wanna stay out? It's past your curfew when it's dark. I'm searching for you in the park. Shady murdered him, another fucking. He just hit his mark. He met his quota for the month. They found the coda all rolled up inside a bag. He probably dragged the body for about a block. Here we go.
Stupid wristwatch. It's broken. What's going on, everybody? How are we doing? So we're going to be jumping into this event. So I didn't play yesterday, so that means we should have a couple of days stacked up. I think that's how it's going to work. We will see. I think the question is, what is the build that we want to work on today? Any ideas? Oops, let me go over here. I was tinkering around with the deflector shield build, but let me save that. I don't want to run that for this. Let's see. The other day we ran that Nemesis build, so I probably don't want to do this, something like that again. We could do an Eclipse thing. Let me see what the project is first, shall we? Okay, project. Summertime project. So the first one is use emotes in front of other players. Oh shit, that's easy. It just has to be 3 players. Well, let's get out of that out of the way and see what else there is. Oh, there's one. There's 2. All right. Emotes. How do we do that? Which button does emotes? Not grenade. No, that's weird. Oh, I'm on the wrong setting. Hold on. Controller setting. There we go. Okay, punch myself once. Project finished. That was easy. Is it 3 dudes standing around? Yeah, it was close enough, I guess, huh? Just have to whack yourself in the face. All right, let's go see what it gave us. They're just login things, right? They're encouraging you to log in. So an Odeya cowboy backpack. Okay, oops, I just lost my arm pad. All right, well, let's claim it. What does a cowboy backpack look like? Is it a skin? It must be, huh? Let's put on a regular backpack and see. Yeah, cowboy backpack. What up, Harbor? Harb of Doom, what up? Does it take a while, or is it going to go somewhere else? The other thing that's been weird is things keep showing up in my library. I don't know why. Like I came in, it was like I had a couple exotics here. It was like maybe we earned them in gameplay and my stash was full. Is that possible? It's possible, right? But where is this backpack? It said backpack. Was that the last one and I'm just looking at the new one? Yeah, probably. The next one is a backpack. I get it. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. I'm looking in the wrong section. So t-shirt. Oh, okay. Jazzy, man. Jazzy. All right, the next one's a backpack. I get it. Okay, I was looking at the wrong one. Thank you for that clarification. That's why I have you in my life. All right, neutralize named enemies while grouped. And we gotta do that 4 times. Thanks, guys. This means we have to group up for this. All right. Open world would be better for that. Let me just open up a couple of these because they're in my way. Yeah, the catch is the group part, open world group part. I mean, if I find my settings and see if I could take on-call status, none. Receive calls for backup, friends and clan, all. I mean, I could do that. Oh yeah, good call, Dragon. You rock. Okay, but I'll leave that on too. That's a good one. You're right. 3 bosses. Otherwise, you could do the summit. What do I want to run though today, guys? I mean, the Ouroboros is looking shiny. Not that particular build, but that's always a fun one. We did the Born Great. We were toying around with that. That's where we left off. Let me look at my gun rack. My gun box. Right on. Appreciate that. Actually, let's look at the weapons. What weapon? The Eagle Bearer kind of sounds cool. I've been wanting to showcase that. The Doctor's Home could be fun too. I mean, even for a solo build, we like this one. The downside is that you're always in scope, so that locks you into one talent. But the Eagle Bearer, you know, I gave it a couple of minutes in one of these videos, and I kind of want to give that more time because I gave the it's the same build that I ran for the Bighorn, but the Bighorn got more attention in it, right? Because I showcased a couple other things. The other one is I want to bring back the blue screen bleed build, but I don't have any of the gear pieces anymore. I deleted all of that gear set. The Sleipnir could be fun too. What do we like to run with our Sleipnir? Striker? Probably. Let's try the Sleipnir and not run Contractor's Gloves. Because it might be one of the few that makes sense to not run the Contractor's Gloves. Now, everybody's going to come at me and be like, but the damage, it's not worth losing the 5% or 8% damage to armor. Be like, really? Take it off and see if you can still kill people just as fast. That's my answer to that. But the weapon handling. Why? Why weapon handling? Well, you get a bigger mag and you get faster reloads. And you'll notice the longer you're shooting, the more you're getting out of this. Then it's also powered by mag. So look, for every 8 bullets, right? So more mag, more buff, and you're always reloading. You're always reloading this thing, and it's a 4-second reload. It's an amazing gun, but you just notice you're always fucking reloading. And you're like, oh, I'm kind of tired of reloading it. So let's see. Let's see if we can survive without the Contractor's Gloves. What do you think? Do you think we could do the Striker's Chest with this? I'm kind of curious. Let's start with it. And then we got our 20% armor on kill, 10 from there and 10 from down below. Let's look at where our crits are so we could get that fixed. So a little higher crit chance. So I might run a Petrov chest or a Sokolov or a Grupo in the end if this doesn't stack well. But the enemies in this game are so fucking tanky. Like, I think we're gonna be all right. But if we're always reloading, then we might be losing stats. So we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. 50, 103. So looking good. Let's go make sure our LMGs are buffed. This will be fun. This will be different. Just stop reloading then. I know. I wish we could tuck and roll through our reload animation here. And then, you know what? We'll pack around the shotgun in case we want to use that to create our buffs, in case that ends up being a thing. Right on. That must have taken some work, huh? Did you use a mule? Or did you just tough it out? How'd you do it? Tank, what up? Yeah, my game should be open. You guys just jump in whenever. Otherwise, well, there you go. Never mind. You heard the call. But either way, jump in whenever, whoever's on. Mission options, heroic. Let's go. Dunno. Oh, I got the wrong skill. Hold on. Decoy, and then I will do maybe stagger. Yeah. Banshee. 20% armor on kill should be good. All right, sorry about that. I always forget to do my skills when I start. Hold on. Look at that. Listen to that. That's insane. Oops. It's not a truly a run and gun one, so keep that in mind. Okay, so let me read the talent because it's been a while since I run this real quick. It says, for every 8 bullets in the magazine, capacity to gain 3% rate of fire and 3% weapon damage for 5 seconds when reloading from empty. Okay, so we got to run it mag. You got a crazy RPM, but there's probably a lot of misses happening in there. And the time to reload is eating up your stacks. Sorry, I can't pick you up. I got this 5-second timer on all my skills. All my things. All my talents got this timer that is crazy. Yeah, got me killed. Can't get shit done in 5 seconds, huh? Chevito! Man down! Sometimes I'm too aggressive for LMGs. Like, you know, you got to play a little bit more back with these weapons. They don't quite fit my playstyle. Or anybody's. No. They are fun to use, though. They are fun to use. This gun is fun. It's actually one of my favorites, but I just got to remind myself to hang back. Okay, let me fix that chest. That's not helping us at all. So that's another problem. So we're gonna run an obliterate on a Palisades. This bad boy? Okay, and then we'll put the striker down here. Check my crits. Good. I want B to be tuck and roll, and it's not. Better. Give me somebody to kill. Only got 5 seconds. Look at that red barrel, huh? Almost shot you, man. Don't stand in front of the dangerous end. I do prefer focus on this weapon, I think, in the end. Loki! Except, you know, on this mission, it's so fast. It's not really that great. I wouldn't use it for missions unless it's a legendary. We could do that, though. If you guys are down to stick with me through just like, I don't know, District Union or something, then I can run focus. It'll shine better. Really good use case for this weapon, actually. Not every legendary, though. Like, I don't think I'd run it in the zoo. Too many rooms we can't lock down a good spot because they're all round. Yeah, it feels great. Good with the rifle. Good synergy there. Luckily, we don't have ammo shortages in the Division 2. I like that resources are never an issue. Infinite power. Oops. Thanks for the bonus armor. Let me stand under this gas tank. Oops. That reload, right? It's a stationary weapon. Absolute ninjas. What's up, man? Yeehaw indeed. That's what these Europeans think of us Americans. That's why we keep getting this shit. The Americans represent the largest player base of this game. And then it's, I think, UK or, you know, Americans, let's just say North Americans. And then the UK, and then I think Germany is next. And then, I'm trying to remember. After that, there's one I'm forgetting. Australia. Anyways, so this is how they imagine Americans. Oh, they love cowboys. Shit. Bush. This is where I run that. Decoy. Spend a lot of time out of cover, and therefore you take a lot of damage. So if there's nobody to shoot, I burn my mag. I just let it go so that I get that fast RPM. So yeah, you're not going to want to run one of those ammo directives with this one. If you haven't caught on to that yet. Somebody, oh, computer. So I'm saving my reload. Damn, they make them tanky, huh? All right, we got a cowboy backpack, boys. What does that look like? Apparel. Yeah, it shouldn't be an apparel. Can't imagine it being apparel. Damn backpack. All right, it's not horrible. Looks waterproof. What's Odea? What's the significance of Odea? We figured that out yet. P Wolf, what's good? Yeah, it's basically they give you incentives for logging in daily. Sometimes they're like scavenger hunt events. Otherwise, they're just simple tasks like complete a mission with friends, do emojis in front of people. So every day it's a little bit different, and the reward is usually apparel. But at the end, there's a named weapon that's a squirt gun because it's a summer event. And then they let's do District Union so I can run this with focus. So it gives your team, whoever you squirt, 50% hazard protection. So very limited use case, not super exciting, but so I'm gonna run it with Palisades because I need my armor on kill. Otherwise, everything else is the same. Stats, 5693, good enough. And then we're gonna need to put a scope on this, so that'll drop our crit chance just a little bit. There we go, and we'll pull in the headshot damage. And then we'll kind of tuck back a little bit and just shred some people. Squirt gun. Like they did for Christmas, exactly. Exactly, same deal. True Patriot isn't bad for the team, but I guess I'm being selfish. I think I still have my True Patriot laying around. That's one of the few ones that's a kind of a bitch to farm because you can't craft it. Not that it's hard to farm, but I think that's right. All right, this will be fun. We haven't done DUA in a while. Tanks aren't good for LMGs. I love the double reload animation when you use your skill. It really excites me. Especially on LMGs. They make it so you can't skirt your reloads, right? That's what that's about. I realize that. You know, They don't want you to cheat the reload system. There's still ways, you know, by rotating weapons, but you don't want to do that on many of these because you'll lose your buff. So you see why I want the weapon handling now, right? Good job. Felt great. All right. Somebody else get the door, please. Because I'm going to reload as I go in. There's always the one guy. You can trigger it if you want to because the he doesn't have a healing station. Oh, I thought I had that.
Agent down.
They hit harder than I do. Lesson learned. Those engineers. Man, oh man. Good at hiding. They're tough. I know. Did you hear about the changes coming next season? Or in next Tuesday? Grumpy? Probably. Everybody's talking about it. Good changes. Inventory and farming changes. That looks pretty cool. Oh, and they're changing the thing on the directives that we were discussing. The no jumping and no grappling hook directives. They're taking those off. And now those checkboxes are going to stay checked every time you roll. Good job. That right from hit nice. That's because we got the right home king in the house, don't we? Those fucking grenaders, huh? Small room for grenades, man. Uh-oh, they're in trouble now. I'm ramped up. Not fucking dead. Where are these fuckers? Over there, I guess. They got somebody's turret still out there. Drone. He's about to launch a grenade. You see that? Fucker. Alright. Clear! Yeah, those explosives got us in that small room. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean by that. I heard some. I saw the statement on that too in the news thing, and I wasn't quite sure about the less waiting thing. What they really meant by that. I didn't take a close look. I just kind of skimmed through it all, but so I have to look again. But overall, that'll kind of help with the money factor. You know how we were talking about, like, God, why did they even charge for directives? That's weird, right? But it'll make the directives more achievable by taking those two out, because those are the two that we were avoiding the whole time, mostly, right? I mean, it was mostly that, the jump and the grappling hook. So without those being in the way, every directive is manageable. Yeah, you just can't, right? I mean, we were lucky to figure it out that one time. It's kind of fun, actually, once. But after that, like, yeah. No, because, I mean, in general, they're a good idea. They just need to be friendlier. I think they could rework them though. I mean, like, if I was able to give direct feedback on them, it would probably be like, can you find ways to make the content more challenging without stripping away what was hundreds of hours in investing in a build? Think about that, right? I mean, all those hours grinding your expertise level, basically, right? And you're taking it away for every time you play a mission. Like, what the? Every time, because you're always farming. And so I think my feedback would be to them would be like, we're doing it because farming is so tough, and so we feel like we have to. But so it's kind of pressured. The game kind of pressures you into doing it in a weird way. But like, I think it would be cool if they found other ways, like buffing the enemies isn't a bad way, right? Buff them, but don't debuff our build. You know, one of the reasons is like, one of the ways is like, if they stripped your cooldowns and you're like, shit, I mean, my whole build is built on cooldowns or something. I don't know, whatever it is. But I feel like, you know, when they make NPCs stronger, make the NPCs faster, make more NPCs, you know, double the enemies, something like that would be cool. Yeah, I mean, you could change your descendant too, and some people won't mind because they do that. But if you have a favorite descendant that you like running missions on, or you're soloing one or something like that, like you're maining only just one, then maybe that conflicts. So, you know, it could alienate players a little bit. Some players might feel like they can't use them, but everybody's got a bunny. But I prefer not to use a bunny every time I run a mission, just so I can do it fast. Personally, you know. Yeah, I saw that coming my way. Like, even if I hate the mission, you know what I mean? Even if I really hate the mission, I'm like, oh, this mission sucks. I still want to do it with the descendant of choice. And that choice might be because it's my favorite descendant, or it's a descendant I'm working on. Unless that descendant doesn't make any sense whatsoever, right? Like, maybe it's like Luna, who busts people's skills, but nobody's running skills. Well, something, I don't know. Invisible chungas? You know, this is one of those weapons that would actually work well with that blind fire. Those gloves, those exotic gloves that give you more handling on blind fire. I honestly would consider running that exotic with this weapon, because I think, no, you can't. Yeah, I mean, you would have to run a different talent, but you could play this way in legendary, and with those gloves get really good accuracy. I mean, it's like hip firing, so it'd be helpful because you could take a lot of damage, but it would also suck because it just doesn't feel fun to hip fire in this game, or to blind fire. So although you prevent damage, it just take away the gameplay. This is a Sleipnir on a striker with the Eagle's Grasp and a Palisades striker backpack. So nothing too outside of the box here. Except I'm running the Eagle's Grasp, just, again, it's on theme for the season, since it's one of the best pieces we got, but also because you're always reloading. And, you know, with the 4-piece striker, you're not really missing out on much damage for not using the contractors. Obviously, that was the default for this, but I really rather deal with my reloads because it's annoying how much you're reloading. I had a friend who I was in clan with when I first started this game. His name was Cowboy. And he was from Texas, and he was one of those, God, he was like one of these special guide like for like elite game hunting. Anyways, he was just like, he would just run. He loved his True Patriot Sleipnir build, and he'd run it for everything. He was good with it too. He was good. But it was just like the perfect example of a cowboy. I was always like, you cowboys love your LMGs, your big guns. You can suppress drone operators. That's something, huh? Stay down, or I'll kill you. I don't got line of sight. There's a fucking pillar in my way. Hey, Swoo! I always struggle with your name since day one, man. Swoo. Always. One of these days, you're gonna help me. You're gonna have to help me pronounce that. Give me some phonetics. Break me down some phonetics. Phonics. Hooked on phonics. Remember that? There was like a joke about that. What was that about? I don't remember. Was it because the commercials were like really cheesy? Hooked on phonics. Anybody comes through that door, Swiss cheese. Sorry, Chevy, I'm in the middle of a long reload stretch session. Two chungas and single mag kind of session. That's more important than saving my buddy. Asa. But is it Asa or is it Asa? Or Aza? Or Aja? Depending on where you're from, right? You gotta help me out here. How do you say Asa though? Is it a soft A? Is it a hard A? Asa or Asa? And don't say the second one. Say, help me with the phonetics. I gotta know your name, man. I gotta know. I hate getting your name wrong. It makes me feel real bad. I know we've had this discussion before, but I don't know if I really got it. Those snipers are a nightmare for an LMG guy. They hit too hard, man. For legendary, it wouldn't be bad if you're gonna run this to run a pickup hive. I tried to stay in the back here. How's my armor down already? Didn't I just heal? Fuckers. Those snipers are a bitch, and all I'm doing is suppressing them. Where are you guys? Exotic. $1.7 million we're at right here. Go. 2.3 million. That's fucking insane on an LMG. Look at that damage. I lost my buff because I moved. 1.3 with a little headhunter. I mean, a little focus. But I think the strongest I saw was at 2.3. Go ramping up again. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So there's a little team buff there. So I don't think we had special ammo because we didn't have it on kill. But I think we were getting damage from status affected targets. Probably from the Eclipse build. But yeah, real fun on those tanky dudes. Especially when you have somebody with the right phone that lets you put out damage. Let's see how we did, speaking of. 105 kills. Negative 1 point something or other typical striker build stats. Right foam was a nice play. St. Elmo's engine. Anybody need that? I was expecting the Eagle Bear. What up, Clancy? If you need it, let me know. I'm not gonna do the scream. Don't make me do the scream. I'm tempted. ACRE, and it's a good one too. It's got the right rolls on it. I mean, I have one. I wouldn't get it, but I'll grab it in case one of these guys need it. It's at least worth a shot if you haven't tried it, just to try it. It's great on Legendary. Actually, I'd run it with Focus also. I think I'd like it with Focus. Those slower weapons. I tend to run with Focus because they help you. The slower ones just help you hone in on the head better. Right on. That was fun, guys. Well, you can stick with me if you want, but what do you want to do next? What mission should we do? Should we look at dailies and stuff? We did the manhunt. Don't stick around if you don't want to. Don't feel like you have to. Let's see here. We could always do the summit. We could always do descent too, by the way. Should we do descent? I haven't been there in a minute. Is it working? Is descent working, guys? Let's do descent. That's always fun. I'm out of practice in the descent mode. I could tell that last time I was there. I got killed right before I got to the Nemesis. It was so frustrating. I mean, shit happens, but like right before you get to the Nemesis is like, oh man, come on. And I saw it coming too, because I was like out of health and I didn't have any recovery or something weird like that. What I can't do, what I cannot do is descent back to back. Like I can do the descent any day of the week, you know, but I can't do back to back because like if it fails, it's just like, that was exhausting. I'm out of here, you know? Like, I'm just not going to run through there. I mean, you're trying to get to this pinnacle moment, at least to the Nemesis, but past him, because that's when your build starts to get fun. And then if you die at the Nemesis or around the Nemesis, whether it's right after or just before, it's just like, I'm exhausted. All right, start simulation. Here we go if you guys are down. Is it easier with 4? Is it harder with 4? I mean, outside of the Nemesis situation. The Nemesis, he gets 4 of them, right? $21? Is that where you're at with this? I think that's where I'm at too. 21 or 23 or something like that. Dark in here. Turn out the lights. Shitty selection of weapons, man. You got a reviver though. That's always good. Fuck. These all suck, man. I mean, they're all rifles. Not even a choice, but I guess it's gonna be MK17. I mean, I could try to stick with the pistol, but who knows, right? All right. Easy mode, here we go. Take the easy rooms, the long route. Or it's the fast route. It's the fast route, right? It's weird. It kind of makes you, I think of it backwards. It's not intuitive. Oh man, I feel weak. I mean, look at that way that. And MK17 is a strong weapon, but the pistol felt weak too. Felt weaker than I normally than I remember it. Maybe it's the team scaling? Probably. I bet you that's why. Gunslinger weapon swapping increases weapon damage. Spark damage to enemies with a skill. Optimize weapon handling. Spike. I guess we'll use optimized.
Operator clear to select new room. Entering new room. Difficulty rating easy.
We'll see about that.
Hostile construction initiated.
So I think like this game mode could be greatly improved just by finding ways to increase the flow, you know?
Console online. Supply station.
Like these, you spend more time picking your talent than the fight, and you know. Trench. Insulated. I think it'd be better if it was just like one big room and you fought multiple waves until you completed it, and then you enter the next room and you're there. Whose turn is it now? Pick whatever you want. I don't care.
Entering new location. Difficulty rating.
Or something, whatever it is, but just cut down on the, keep the flow going, you know, push the pace of it.
Hostile combatant.
This rifle sucks. And here, by the way, I'm hitting him on the head, and they're like, wow, that doesn't look like it does anything to you. Way too much. Oh, let me get a reload after killing one red guy. Thank God I had help. Almost got overrun by 3 red dudes. Fuck. And that's why, like, they should just let you pick your weapon of choice in the beginning, you know, because people are just leaving and coming back, Destructive. Skill damage.
Operator clear to select new room.
Choose which. So we got an easy one at the end here, and a hard one there. Yeah. Like the choose your path thing, like that's the other thing. Like we're not generally mixing it up because we want to. You know, they at some point they force you to pick a hard room sometimes, and so I feel like it should just be at the beginning, right? No room picks. It'd be like easy. I mean, I don't think people are taking this mode that seriously, where it's like, oh, you know, I mean, I know some people are, but not enough to tailor the whole game mode around it. About like, well, I'm going to choose this room because the layout is way better. I mean, I know some people do that, but I don't think it, I think it's a little, I think it might be intended to be a little bit more casual, the gameplay mode. And so I think you should just be able to pick, this would dramatically cut down on the wait time. Just pick hard or easy in the beginning. You want to get there to the Nemesis fast, or you want to get to the Nemesis hard. And then after you beat the Nemesis, choose a different, you can choose again. Or choose every time from that point. I don't know, you think that's a bad idea or a good idea? But for me, like, I don't have each room memorized. Yeah, I do once I go inside, but from the outside, I don't know what the name of that room is. And I don't want to memorize it. And I've played it enough times that I should have it memorized, but it's not an important enough detail for me or my survivability, you know? When shit happens, it's not typically because of the room layout. It's typically because something's stupid. Like I'm standing next to a stupid explosive like that. But I feel like if you choose that, I mean, that would cut down. Just go from one room to the next. So you exit one room, and right when you exit that room, you're going right into another room. There's no hallway. Yeah, but I don't know. What is the percentage of people that have made it deep? I don't know. But I'm curious, you know. I mean, it'd be interesting to see that stat. Like, how many people have made it past 30, you know? And if it's a very small number, that's relative, so I don't know what small would be, but then maybe they should relook at the whole structure of it, don't you think? Like, you can't build a whole game mode for 13 people, you know? And I don't know how many, but the other question is, for those that did make it past 30, how many of them went back and did it again, or did they learn their lesson? Which was, that took 8 hours, or 5, or 6, whatever. And that means if I want to beat that record, it's going to take longer, most likely, right? Equal or greater time. You know, we know this. We've all talked about this. But, you know, more people, they should get it so that more people reach that, you know? The Summit sort of has the same problem, right? Like, the liberty or death is headshots. Yeah, we're just gonna do this. I mean, how many people, I wonder, are doing the Summit to floor 100? It's probably a select group who really enjoy it. And like, I'm one of those. I do it once a season typically, and that's pretty low. Yeah, I think they should get more people, right? But they should, I mean, we should see more people getting to higher levels. It'd be fun. It'd be something to talk about. What's your higher level? What's your highest level? And we did that, but it's just like, oh man, there's only a couple people that get there. And everybody tried at one point. Everybody was about it, right? When it came out. But I think it sucks, the game mode sucks the energy out of you. Ooh, all right, we get a classic LMG. That's what we want. I gotta choose a better weapon. I don't care what the skill is. That weapon sucked. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I enjoy the game mode. It just needs to be tweaked. But the problem is that, you know, the devs release things now. They don't come back and fix anything, you know? They don't tweak it. I mean, they changed a couple of things, granted, but there was so much more feedback around this to be processed. I mean, they invest millions of dollars in this game mode. why not put a couple of extra tens of thousands to perfect it or whatever? Maybe hundreds of thousands. But I mean, they had to craft this whole thing, right? It's insane. Ooh, I need that. Oh, that's right. I'm running the chatter thing. But some more RPMs up front would be nice. Composure, on cover, companion, read with the primers of an ally, spark, precise, probably composure. Since we're running Overwatch anyways. Yeah, there's so much potential with this game mode. I mean, it's a whole map they built out, and it looks good for being subterranean. I mean, it almost worked out better for as an actual simulation to learn the game. They used to do that in games. Remember that? Back in the day, like Splinter Cell had that. You started out in the training facility.
Console active.
Oh, these all suck. Well, bank it. I like that all red room. Can we do the all red room? I know it's a mid.
Entering the room. Difficulty rating. Medium.
Yeah, it just sucks to have whole game modes that are kind of ghost town. And like they don't care, you know? I mean, somebody doesn't care. Somebody doesn't care, right? I'm sure the devs do. They're like, man, let's go back and fix Liberty Island or what's the other one? Kenley College or something, you know? That door's not gonna open? Oh, now it does. I see. So I turn my back to it.
Console available. Supply station online.
Intimidate. While your bonus armor gain 1 stack each second. Preservation. Killing an enemy? I guess I'll take that. I have Adrenaline Rush, but... Ugh. I'm not using it that much. Intimidate. While you have bonus armor. That sucks. Preservation, I guess, is better, but it's not going to help us again. We're going to skip this choice too? No, let's reroll. Vigilance, yeah. Because, you know, you got to think about the nemesis at this stage, and none of those are going to help. Where are we going? This way.
Room selected. Difficulty rating. Medium. Constructing hostile.
Yeah, but there's so much they can squeeze out of this as far as content. Like, we say this a lot, right? There's this, New York, the Summit. Summit's a big one, I think. It's got the structure to be great. So does Pentco. They all do. The map designer always does a really good job, whoever that dude is.
Console online.
And then they cut it off in one game mode. But that Pentco, man, I mean, you could turn that to a PvP map. Be awesome. I keep getting shit, guys. It's too early to build in the crits. It's just random. All right, here we go. Really, look. And I had to reevaluate my chill out masks. They're taking up so much of my stash space, and they collect fucking dust. Now, back when they were first introduced, they were like the bee's knees. You know, everybody had to have them, every single version, and you wanted to farm the hell out of it. But that's changed. You don't really need more than a few, I gotta say. And I mean, I don't want to say just go for one. I don't want to say that, because there could be some interesting tank builds. Like if you're gonna run a Gila anyways, then you're gonna want to run that mask. And then if you're gonna want a crit one or a headshot one, then you're gonna want that. But for the most part, if I could just limit it to one build and say where it's really worth it to eat your stash space with it, I gotta say it's a protection from elites build. I think that's the only one that provides real value for that slot. Because so at the time when it was first released, we didn't have all of the gear we have now. And they ended up bringing us more status effect pieces, and we got more skill haste pieces, which we didn't have those pieces, like the Picar's holster, for example, right? So that didn't exist back then. And now we have Electrique for more status effect. That didn't exist back then. So we wanted all of those pieces. But if you're running a crit build, well, you're not going to want to run that. So to hoard a bunch of crit versions isn't necessarily worth it to eat up your stash space, except for protection from elites versions of that. So what I would do is this, is I would farm one and just keep it as an armor core. Just let it be an armor core. And then from there, it's the primary attribute that I would want flexible. And good news, it comes with armor core. So it's the easiest. You just need to farm one is all I'm telling you. And then I think that the only builds that are worth using it for are going to be protection from elites. And I've tried everything under the sun with the chill out masks, and I no longer can justify putting the chill out mask in that slot, because there's always a better option. Like, for example, if you were making a skill build and you wanted to build skill haste or skill build, the Picar's holster might be on your build. And then a second piece of that brand, what is it, Brazos, is going to give you a skill tier. So what would you rather have, the chill out mask there, or a second piece of that? Picaro's holster set, whatever it's called. What is that called? Something with a B, right? Anyways, that's going to give you a skill tier. And that's just way more important than that chill out mask. So it's now... it cannot compete with anything else that you could put there. If you want to max out a status effects build, you're better off putting a Hannah Yu, a Wyvern, even a Brazos would be good there, or Electrique, or a Golin. So this is, if you want a skill damage build, yeah, you know, the list goes on and on and on. Can you run 2 hives? No. Wouldn't that be some shit? I mean, I want to use a burster, demolisher, but it's not going to help with our dude, but it's better than nothing. All right. Yeah, so Brazos, thank you. Yeah, I was making sure. I was thinking Brazos in my head. Choose whatever one you like, bro. No worries. So yeah, I'm just kind of down to that. And I run a lot of headshot builds, but the reality is that if you're going to be running protection from elites, then having that as an armor core is not bad. So don't go and farm a crit damage piece. I mean, don't go farming a piece that already has crit damage on it. It's just not worth it. You know, just farm one with armor and keep that piece flexible. So in case you want to run a protection from elite pistol build, for example, or protection from elite rifle build, and you were going to put headshot damage there, then you can do that, and you need the armor core anyways, right? We like 1.1 million armor is what we like. So having an all red protection from elites build is really not that great. I've tried it. It's okay, but, you know, you're building up some resistance, and then you don't have any at your base, and so you need something there at the base, so that that resistance that protection from elites gives you is worth a damn. So, you know, I wouldn't run a protection from elites build, max protection from elites build, without 1.1 million armor at least, I guess, is what I'm saying. So yeah, good news. There's only one chill out mask you need. And it's the easiest one to get. Whatever it is, it's gonna come with an armor core. So just optimize that armor core and then re-roll it from there. Whatever one you guys want, I don't care. Oh, it's my choice. Looks like he wants to do the boss. I could tell. Let's do it.
Entering new room. Difficulty rating. High value target.
Yeah, and if you haven't run a max protection from elites build yet, by the way, oh yeah, that's one build you gotta run. I mean, I've played them out, so you don't see me doing it very much, but they're awesome. Not in every case, but for solo build especially. I do a lot of open world content. If you run missions, then it's not worth it. If you run missions a lot. Really, dude?
Immediate medical assistance needed.
I hate that. That you're just pumping him full of lead and he still gets his shot out. Hold on, don't mind my fucking reload. Did he heal? He did. Oh my god, I need some RPMs. Great gun, by the way. I love this gun. But without the RPM buff this game gives you, this mode gives you, it feels shitty. We need velocity. Holy moly. I'm not accustomed to playing this in group. I'm always in here solo, so that it feels strange to see that resistance like that. Versatile. No, I know that could be good, but I don't have a good second weapon. Does it allow pistols? No. Surge, energize. Man, I'm getting the shit. Reroll. Again, shit. I got the same fucking thing. Reroll. It scales. Okay, we'll take that one. It was empowered, but big sponge. Sheena coming in with her 2 words. Is that all I'm gonna get out of you today? Is just 2 words?
Activating chemical hazard. Room selected. Difficulty rating.
Okay, yeah. Good question. Basically, the TAC 50 is good on anybody but any boss. Anybody with a name.
Construction initiated.
Anybody with a name, you don't want to use it on. So if you see a boss, except, okay, there's an exception to that, okay? But that's the general rule. So they dramatically nerf the weapon against elites, and it says that in the disclosure of the weapon, which, yeah, it's crazy. The Nemesis, you can use it on anything. There's no downside to the Nemesis. It's an amazing weapon. You can use it full time. You can run it without Headhunter and still chain kill. Trench, utility, intimidate, protected, reload. Man, this has got to be the worst one ever. All right, skipping choice. Okay, so the caveat to the TAC 50 is, though, however, if you have a Headhunter buff already, you can use it on anybody, including bosses, and you should still take them down. take that for a grain of salt, because if you're running in a 4-man group, I mean, those bosses can get pretty tanky. So Nemesis or the TAC 50 are probably not going to one-shot him unless you're doing something to majorly buff yourself. Because they get really, really tanky, right, those bosses. And a lot of them have helmets and shit like that. But it's possible, but it takes tricks. So, but if you have a headhunter stack, then yeah, you're going to be so strong just from the base of that weapon, whether they nerf it against bosses or not. That just a single headhunter stack is going to let that TAC 50 do whatever it wants to whoever it wants to.
Console active.
As far as the Nemesis goes, like, it's a staple. I mean, the Nemesis, whether you're running a crit build or a headhunter build, it's got a decent crit chance mod on it. You can run that. Look at, I keep getting versatile and gunslinger in every fucking room. Okay. But yeah, it's as a backup weapon. Pick off a strong dude from way far away, whoever it is. It's just a weapon to, you know, if you don't have anything else special in your secondary weapon, just always run it. Yeah, but there's no bad time to use a Nemesis that I can think of.
EMP hazard activated. Entering new location.
It's designed to be, it's such a simple concept. It's one of the few weapons that is built on power that you can actually, that's actually held through time. Right, so most weapons, at least in the Division 2, when they're built on power, eventually something else comes around that's just stronger, and then that weapon just nobody uses it anymore. And the Nemesis is held. They haven't nerfed it as far as I know or remember. Quite get him. Can you please break somebody's weak point? Thank you. Oh, he's got perfect line of sight on me, but not me on him. That's annoying. The other weapon built purely on power, well, I'm not sure it's supposed to. Can we take these out? No. Was the Ouroboros. Technically, it's got a status effect attribute to it, but it's held. They haven't nerfed it, which they did nerf it before it was even released. Funny that they took that feedback, right? From the PTS. They saw that happening. But they didn't see anything happening around the weapons for this season. Anyways, it used to be 1600 RPM, if I remember right. Crazy, right? But that one's held otherwise as a weapon basically built on power. But yeah, most of them will eventually, most of the weapons eventually, like the P416 used to be the king of assault rifles back in the day. Now nobody uses it. Yeah, I got a Firefly. I did think of that when I picked it, because I didn't want to leave that slot blank. I almost skipped it, but I was like, I think he uses a Firefly if I do that. So I went for it. I don't have a secondary weapon. Ooh, but what if I use a decoy? What does he use? A decoy too? I like decoys. They help against him, right? Or should I just hold my... That's a good skill. The EMP could jam him too. There's gonna be 4 of them. I mean, I could just leave it and pick a secondary weapon. Does it suck to run a sniper in here with... The MP7 could be good. I'll do that. Too late, tank. Damn it. Is it my turn? It is. So we got hard and we got easy. So yes. What's our heat? 75%? All right. What do you guys think about the M1A? I mean, it's still king of the rifles, right? But overall in the game, it used to be king of DPS, period. I don't think that's the case anymore, is it? Does it Ouroboros beat the M1A Classic? I would imagine it does. I mean, because you can pair it up with Striker and nothing beats Striker. I would imagine. Because it's more than just a weapon in this case. It would be the gear set that it goes with. I mean, if you're looking... I don't think you could analyze it just based on weapon alone, can you? Because that's the thing about the Baker's Dozen. You wouldn't pair that up with Striker. And so you'd be left with like a... What, the classic old school meta build? I got you, brother. Is it me, or does the Firefly really suck in these rooms? It's probably me. I have a hard time landing it. I kind of lost track of the M1A Classic, you know? Look at my skills again. I mean, what? I mean, the talents. I meant talents. Look, they keep giving me the same shit. Is it really that limited? Skipping choice. Can you see all the talents from here? I know you can see it from the outside menu though, right? Not inside?
Online.
Shit. Guess I'll take companion because we're getting too close. Gonna have to stay with the homies. Yeah, looks like somebody else has a decoy too, which is good.
Hostile construction initiated.
Just 2 rooms? Oh, there's 3. Really, you fucking axe guy? You suck.
Console active. Supply station online.
Guess composure again. We're starving for damage, so take it. I think we get to the Nemesis after this, at the end of this. Looks like it.
Room selected.
We took a hard, so it's possible we won't. We took a medium room or somewhere in there. Where are we in our loop? Does it show us?
Hostiles constructing. Hostile spawn from highlighted doors.
God damn, his reach was not close to you, buddy. I want that status effect one
Console available.
where you shoot them and they go blind. It might not be on the board today. This week, I guess. Companion again. Efficient in here. Kind of nice. Oh, we're at 100%. Yeah. So we're going to reach it.
Difficulty rating. High value target.
I didn't get an RPM buff this whole time. Has anybody ever put bullet hell with chatterbox? What does that feel like?
Hostiles constructing.
Like nothing or like awesome?
Highlighted doors.
Gonna Rambo. Where's our man? Coming. Got your back, Loki. I got your back. Get him. It's clear. It's clear. What? I can't use this as cover? Come on, man. Better fucking get him. Nope. With some random object.
Science critical.
Oh, that's not dive.
HE
dick. B needs to be dive. Why isn't B dive? And why can't I dive faster? Such a slow dive. Look at me, slow motion. I look fucking heavy. I mean, I guess I am wearing a lot of gear. I think you're better at this than I am, Loki.
An agent needs assistance.
I got your back! He's still pushing forward as I was nailing him. Hold on. Put some new belt in. He just healed, didn't he? Ooh, that hurt. What was he packing? All right, Nemesis. Fuck it, I'm taking damage. It locks in 5 seconds. It locks in 5 seconds forever. That's kind of cool. Sounds fun. All right, so let me ammo up. And then to open these, in case I need an extra armor kit, which I'm sure I will. And then let's see what we got here. So I'm a backup weapon. Do we need revive tokens? How many revive tokens do I have? 1? They each have 1? I think that's okay. How am I in ammo? I guess I'm good. Spy here. Special ammo's over here. Ooh, I should probably buy ammo before I do that. Ammo capacity. Ooh, I got a lot of currency. How did we get so much currency? Is it because all my skills sucked and I kept skipping? But that still seems like a lot. I just want to make sure I don't run out of these. So these are 400 each. Okay. So I need 800. And then grenade capacity. I can use those a lot, but they help pop them out of cover if they're hiding. And then I spent too much, but that's all right. We will put... they don't take shock, so I only had one choice anyways, so... That's stupid they don't take shock. Alright. Let's do this. Did I need a revive token? Oh, too late. I would typically play solo, so I didn't know. I do have my Reviver Hive. That doesn't count, does it? If somebody goes down but doesn't die, if they're on their DBNO, down but not out. Look at that. Bringing in new words. Does it work? I mean, does it take a token? How'd you get over there so fast?
Construction program activating. Nemesis.
It's been a minute since I've done this in a group. This will be a new experience for all of us.
System malfunctioning.
Here come the grenades.
Hostile blinder firefly detected. Hostile striker drone detected. Hostile restore hive detected. System restored.
They should throw more grenades. Right?
Hostile firefly detected.
That dude's sticky firefly is getting this, huh? But I'm running companion, so. They're abusing their fireflies. I think the firefly was a bad idea.
Serious trauma detected.
That sucks. God damn. Yeah, we got one. The one in the back, huh? Real chill. Is there a way to get up here?
Hostile blinder firefly detected.
I wish we had something that ticked him, huh? You guys both launched at the same time, huh? All right, let's look over the balcony here. The other one is taking a fucking nap. Here, somebody get on the left flank. I'll take the left flank. Somebody get where I was. Need to triangulate this motherfucker. Get him in an overlapping pattern of fire. He moved. He saw that happening. Smart dude. Overlapping fields of fire. All right, this other guy, he's like, you guys die first. All right, so we want to get in the triangle pattern here. Make sure when he gets out of cover, he's got nowhere to go.
Hostile striker drone detected.
He reads us. No, 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 turn that corner, turn that corner. I have no armor kits. Got nowhere to go, buddy.
Hostile line of fire flag detected.
Good job.
Simulation terminated. Awaiting data.
It's definitely harder in a group, man. Don't you guys think? Should we exit? Probably. Take our goodies and run. They should give you the option, like if you wanted to continue, you could, right? Like if one person leaves. Later it gets easier for group. It's better. Yeah, Descendant's Heart, right move. One of my favorites in there is Trauma, that chest talent. It's like so good in there. I don't use Trauma a lot, but in PvP I use it, and I use it in here if I can. That's when you bleed and blind. It's just like unlimited skill on these guys. Unlimited skill power. That was fun though. It was a good mix-up. It always is. It's super casual, you know. I felt like, you know, pretty kicked back in there, be able to handle a conversation. Did it put us somewhere else when we exit? It does. I think they would just greatly, I mean, everything else aside, if they just improve the flow in there, man, you know, it's always, that's back to time though, isn't it? But I'm not talking about the time to completion so that we can all get higher levels. I'm not really talking about that. I'm just talking about like just improving the flow so that it feels like we're in the action all the time. It's not bad, you know, it's not horrible, but I just think that would make it feel better. So, chance at a pattern. Reconstructed cache, right? Ooh, I'm excited to see. It's been a minute since I've done that. Is there a named item in here? Oh yeah, I dropped a named item, like glue. I didn't like glue as much as I like the thorn. So let's see if we get lucky. Cold relations, and the blueprint is Lavasieur. That's the companion backpack. Lavassieur? I'm probably saying that wrong, you know. Let's go look at the blueprint. Crafting bench? Here we come. The infamous crafting bench. Trauma overall is an undervalued skill. I wish we could use it more, but it always comes down to just having enough power, and you only got 3 things, right? Like, let's check out our brand new blueprint. So it's gonna be in the backpacks. Lavassieur. Cool. So we got, surprised we didn't have that before. It's not that special. Let me see here, because I have the courier blueprint. But you can craft some cool ones, right? Wasn't it for a while coming with a red core on this, or a blue core? Might have been a blue core. It was broken for a minute. But you could come up with some pretty cool ones. You get double crits there, run perfect galvanize. That could be a fun build, don't you think? Let's craft some. You guys, we can break group. We'll break group because I might log into my my noob character to see if I can craft this over there too. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging with me. That was fun. The dynamic trio. But if I can get double crits on this and then put a red core on there and run a kind of a balanced DPS team support build, that would be kind of cool, right? St. Elmo's, that is. Let me see here. I got too much crap, but I don't want to delete anything. You can go. That would be fun. I love Perfect Galvanize. It's great. And it makes sense on that backpack with status effects. And then the St. Elmo's is really nice with that, with the shock. And did they ever fix the blinder Firefly for that? Did they fix that bug? It wasn't working with Galvanize. I kind of remember them fixing that. Blue screen. That's a good idea. Blind, ensnare, confuse, because it does confuse, right? Shouldn't be that hard to craft. Seems to want to drop reds. I feel like I used to have this one. I bet you I have one already. You know? It comes with a decent amount of red attributes, though. Ooh, that's close. I'd rather have crit damage, headshot damage, though. And you don't need the status effects to last. We would already have too much. It would be interesting to actually run it on an all striker build and then just kind of balance in your armor levels with Vanguard on your chest. I bet you'd still feel decent on the DPS side with that big old mag coming out of the St. Elmo's. Backpack filling is annoying. Let me see if I already have it. I probably do. I mean, I was saving one for, I'm pretty sure I was saving versions of that, but the thing is as stash space becomes critical, sometimes I have to delete them. Like, I want to get rid of these festive delivery backpacks. I just don't use them enough. The concussion grenade is the problem with it. I like what it does, but I hate using the concussion grenade. And so then you have to use the firewall grenade. It's the only one that it really can handle mentally. So here's it. Yeah, I do already have it. Yeah. I do. God, we didn't waste too much time doing that. That'll be a fun next build to do. I got one coming at you in the morning. I was working on it before I started the stream. But I think this build would look like that. And then here, striker, and then here, where's my St. Elmo's? You. Like that. And then Vanguard, I don't think perfect Vanguard does enough for you in this scenario. What is it, like a 5% difference? But the backpack, the perfect backpack is a big deal. It's like both range and quantity. And so we could run... I'm wondering if I want Palisades or damage. I'm kind of thinking damage because we're losing the talents for defense. So like, you know, what, a Cheska or a Grupo or a Fenris, which I never keep. So we could do this Cheska here. Otherwise, let me see if I have the perfect Vanguard one. But I don't want to run Gila because I don't want to weaken myself too much, but I still want to dish out bonus armor. It's kind of my point here. Gila. That's not the one. It's probably on my other character. I don't want to get it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so it's invulnerable for 5 seconds. That's a shield. It grants 50% of your armor as bonus armor to all other allies for 20 seconds. Cooldown 25 seconds. So 50, 20, 25. Okay. So you. Oh, wrong one. That one. Yeah, so it's just 5% bonus armor is the only difference. That's what the team wouldn't be getting. Then I could redistribute the crit damage everywhere. Negotiators would be good on here too, by the way. Still at 60. Cheska might not work. Yeah, I have to do something other than Cheska. There's my Grupo here. Grupo. I already had that Vanguard one right there. This would have been better. I think my crits are too high, so. There we go. Okay, now over here, let's find that Grupo, because you can't equip it right from your stash. No, wrong one. This one's quicker. Striker for Hunter's Fury, but I'd have to play so close. I mean, you can, but I'm thinking legendary, you know. I'm gonna armor up to some degree, like 1.3. And so this gives our team 45% of our armor. That gives them 50% of our armor. And then I'd probably keep this, the Confuse, but I'd put it here. And then if the blinder worked, I don't know if it does, then I'd keep that too. It used to not work. And just use that as like a last resort. And then I could put this at crit damage. What was our stats again? 152, so I can go crit chance on this one. All right, and then how do we get our armor on? Here. Hunter's Fury is good. Yeah, it's more, honestly, I mean, you see people running it in groups, so take this for what it is. But so a lot of people saying this game that the memento is oh, I gotta run a shield. I can't do this. That the memento is a best when playing solo, because if somebody steals your kill, then you don't get your memento drop. Well, it's the same thing for Hunter's Fury, you know. If somebody steals your kill and you go into the kill zone to get your kill, and then somebody ends up taking it away from you, then you took damage, but you didn't come out with your 20% armor on kill. You didn't come out with your amplified damage. And if you did earn it, you risk it timing out, because the enemies are so tanky in group. That also sucks. I think we could stick with 1.1 million, because if I'm giving out 50% of my armor at 1.1 million, I mean, that's 500,000. I know it's not like a million in armor. No, we're giving 95%. So they're basically getting a million in armor, right? Give them 50 from that, and then from that. Yeah, that'll be fun. I'll save this one for later. So I'll be streaming The Division 2 again, not tomorrow, but on Saturday. So we'll do a Saturday night stream. And then tomorrow I'll do the First Descendant and maybe some team play. First Descendant, we'll do some group up and just go around killing things. Maybe if you guys are down tomorrow, this will be a tomorrow night stream, Friday night stream. In First Descendant, we could do maybe some of those end Colossus and probably fail miserably. But I don't know what we're gonna do with this Frostwalker. Probably not anything until he's done, but we can go after, we can play the Molten Fortress again. I know a lot of us have already cleared it. I understand the mechanics. I'm sure you do too. And then I haven't done the Gluttony boss, so he'd be interesting to take on. And I think a lot of us have our builds at a place where we can take these now. A lot different than, because I remember going into, for example, the Obstructor the first time, and he felt hard, and now he feels like really easy. But because we were new characters back then. I like my cowboy jacket. It glows. But the hat. I like those glowing stripes. I mean, it's ugly as crap, but the glowing part is nice. The blinder works? Oh my god, let me launch the blinder. Well, it's too late. It's too late. I took it off because I have to have the shield. That's tempting, though. It's tempting. I might still use it, but the cooldowns on that thing fucking suck, right? So this is cool because I'll be giving my team ammo, right? I'm giving my team ammo. I could also run more damage against status-affected targets. And not sweat the ammo thing. because somebody's always running gunner. Let's do that. What do you guys think about that? You like that idea better? Just more buffs for your team, but that don't take away too much from you. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm doing here. Because again, I just don't want to be weak. So more damage against status affected targets, and we get the protection from elites. While we're at it, you know, that's not a bad idea.
Not a lot of people using crossbows out there, but they can be deadly, especially with these explosive.
Except the shield's got a better cooldown. I don't get that buff. The thing about the shield is you can abuse it, right? I mean, that cooldown is crazy. And from efficient, I mean, how often are you going to pop a med kit? Probably a lot, but... I can instead do our little Mender Seeker. Let's give a little squirt from time to time. I mean, I could probably use that myself. Adriel Zephon, what up? I'll be honest with you, I was just closing up stream, but let me give you a shout out. See what you were up to. Tom Clancy's Division 2. All right, good job. Be sure to check Adriel Zephon's channel out. Support the fellow Division community. Give a follow. It doesn't hurt to follow. How you liking the summer event? I was just talking about my brand new jacket, my glowing boots. I like it when I'm equipping it like this. I feel like, you know, I'm out in the outback. Sheena, do I look like a guy from the outback? I look Aussie, I feel like. Can't see me very well, though. Photo mode. I feel like I look Aussie. I think Aussies... I think Aussies don't wear sleeves. Like, that's a thing, right? Oh, wow. Well, welcome back. It's a whole new game from way back when. It's kind of a slow season this season, just so you're aware. So you might hear a little bit more negativity about the game this season than in other seasons. There's been a lot of drama around that. But, you know, in the bugs and stuff. But hopefully they work through that really well so that we can move on. Well, yeah, I mean, I was just asking that yesterday in last night's stream. Is like... but what does it feel like for a new player? Because some of us older players are kind of grumpy, right? I've been playing since basically day one. You know, I've been not clocking as many hours in this season, and I probably, I think I went a week or two without playing the Division 2, at least a week. And that was like the longest break I've taken in the Division 2 since like 2019. That's crazy, right? A 1 week break. And people are like, are you quitting the Division 2? It's like, Jesus, I can't take a break. Right? Like, damn. And that's because I'm a daily, right? I'm a daily. I upload daily. Typically, I stream daily the Division 2. But they gave us two. I'm a build guy. Like, I'm really into builds and like experimenting, and I love game modes too. But I don't rely on the new game modes as much as I do on gear. And they gave us 2 seasons back to back with shit gear, and it was just kind of like, ugh. It took some wind out of the sails, you know? But for new players, I was saying, so that's what a grumpy long-time player feels like when we get these seasons. But for new players, shit, you're not even worried about whether the gear is shit or not this season, because you're still grinding the stuff from like 3 seasons ago, because that stuff was great and still used, right? That's what I figure. And so that's why I wonder, you know. And me personally, like when it comes to the Division 2, I'm more of a community guy than I do it for more the community than me. I enjoy the game. I have fun, and I love, and I get involved with my builds, and that occupies me. So I can be running the same mission over and over and over and over, or really it's open world stuff over and over and over again, and I don't care because I'm working on a build and I'm experiencing it, and then I'm sharing it, you know. And so that's why, you know, I want to make sure I'm balancing this game, even though this season is super lame for us longtime players, because all the new players are out there like, man, having a blast. This shit's all new. It's the build system. And I mean, it's got all the right components, except the worst part about the game is the devs. And we're just going to say that. It's the reality. It's the worst part about the Division 2. And I know you hear that about every game. I'm sure the Destiny people hate the Destiny devs. I'm sure, you know, whatever people hate the devs over in GTA, whatever, right? Like, but in the Division 2, it's really bad. I mean, they just like, I mean, you're lucky if you get a couple of messages. They only speak to us when there's a patch. And that's all it is an announcement. Hey, a patch coming out. And they're standardized patches. They're standard. So we get our original season launch patch, and then we get a follow-up, you know, 0.1, 0.2, and sometimes 0.3, depending, right, on how many things they got to fix. And that's all we get on communication. I mean, just nothing. And so it feels like they don't listen to our feedback, because we provide feedback saying, hey, this gear sucks, this gear broken, so we have this build, and then we don't hear anything about it. And then they created this known issues board that's supposed to be, hey, just go here and check it out, this so you know what we're working on. And they never update that. And how hard is that to update, right? So it's just like, that's the worst part about the Division 2. And so you're going to hear that, you know? You're going to hear us complain about the devs, and it doesn't mean we hate the game, and it doesn't mean we're abandoning it. Maybe some people would. But it's just like, we got to keep it real. You know what I mean? And so that new players that come in, they know that it's a great game, but the devs suck. They just don't hear our feedback. They give us weapons that we all said during testing that this weapon sucks. Do not launch this weapon as it is. And they launch it as it is, like as if we didn't say anything. And we did provide that feedback. And it's like, they didn't care. And they say they care, but it's just like, they don't show they care. And it does take an absolute thunderfuck of a storm for them to actually listen to our feedback. And that's what just happened, right? So we had the seasonal character thing, and everybody went in an uproar majorly. And they lost a lot of players, and people, what do you say? Undownloaded the game, right? Whatever you say to that. So it's like, and then finally they were like, okay, we're going to remove it. And that was a big deal. I didn't think they would. I didn't think they were going to walk that one back. And we don't know what's going to happen now, but we're waiting to hear. And we're, over halfway through this season? I think the next one launches in September, right? Something like that. We're at least halfway through. So that's the story with the Division 2. Otherwise, it's one of the best games ever. I mean, like, in this genre, I'm going to say. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a long timer, but like, I try other games, and it's just like, the Division 2 has the sauce. It's got the build structure and the complexity behind it. The enemies are great. The guns are awesome. The gear is cool. Most of the apparel is cool. The open world is best in class. You know, it's full of life and variety. The missions are great. The storyline is awesome, right? And I'm not a big story guy. I'm not. But when it came to this one, like the whole concept of this on the cusp of apocalypse, you know, on the precipice of a potential apocalypse is where this game lives. And that's really interesting. And then you have these warlords, and I think they could have done more there, by the way. And then the rogues, just the concept of rogues, the story gets a little cheesy when one dies and comes back to life. But you know, the rogues are really cool, and then you have the mystery behind the hunters, and everybody loves the hunters, and so the story is just cool. It is Tom Clancy, you know, based at least, and so it's neat. It's neat. It's aging though. You know what I mean? It's aging, and it's at that critical point. The devs have lost control over being able to manage the game efficiently. So this is what you can expect. It's like every time they launch a new patch, they fix one thing and break another. And it's been going on forever like that, you know? At one point, they were going to abandon the game, so they lost a lot of their developers. And then they decided not to abandon the game, so they had to rebuild the team, and that's part of the issue. It takes time to rebuild a team, and then that team is unfamiliar with the code in the background of things. So it is what it is. We just kind of sort of laugh at it, really, because they just went through an overhaul where they improved the performance of the game, and they pushed back our DLC, which is coming. That's going to be Brooklyn, so that's exciting. But they pushed it back into the beginning of next year, 2025, so around February. But we should be playing it already. But they pushed it back so that they can do a health update, and they did that health update, but what came out of it is the same bugs and poor updates. So again, the developers are the worst part of the game. But the game is aging. They announced Division 3, and so we're all looking forward to that, you know, really. You know, so the Division 2 is occupying us, and the reality is that we're all looking forward to Division 3 because this game is awesome, but it is aging, you know. There are new things that I would love to see in the next version of this game. I would love to see slide mechanics. I would love to see prone, jump. I would love to see an interactive open world like the first Descendant. It's awesome. The world, you go into your open world and there's other people that are just there doing activities. You can join them or you can go on your own path. Or they can join you. And it's seamless. It's non-disruptive. It feels like they're helping you. The scaling is better. The scaling is horrible in this game, right? It gets harder when you play with the team. It shouldn't be that way. You know, it shouldn't necessarily be easier, but it should be a little bit more balanced. So it's just, and then I would like everything to flow faster. You know, I would like, which they've been doing a good job of quality of life. They fixed their menus so we can do more things in the field. So they've done good stuff there on quality of life, but we have dead zones in the game, you know, and that's because they're big on nerfing XP things. There's no exploits in this game, really, right? And so if something pops up as an XP farm, they nerf the shit out of it. And then that can kill an entire zone of the game because when they nerf something, they tend to nerf it to the ground. So like the summit used to be really popular. Now nobody really goes there. And it used to be a major XP farm, and now nobody goes there. You know, and it's got so much potential, you know, and so it doesn't mean nobody enjoys it. I enjoy it from time to time. It's a major challenge. Thanks, Classy. I like this Division 2. Yeah, you know, I'm invested. I know it feels good. You know, it's tough starting another game, you know, like in the first Descendant, because I have to ramp up. And I'm kind of coming at it from from an everyday Joe, where I'm not going to pay, you know, $300 like some of these other content creators are just so I can put out a fucking build video. That's insane, you know? Just paying for views a little bit. I think part of it is just like, I grinded for this build. You know what I mean? I grinded for this build. So when somebody says, oh yeah, but look, you got all those catalogs. Yeah, motherfucker, I grinded. That's what this game's about. You know what I mean? I did it the old-fashioned way, man. Like, there's no, I didn't do any tricks. You know, I didn't spend all day in the Volby farm. You know, my character's maxed out. So if I can do it, you can do it. It's the game. That's how it works. Same thing with the Division 2, right? Like, I mean, all my pieces are maxed out, but that's just good old-fashioned hard work. You know what I mean? Good old-fashioned hard work. You know? And never look at it like your build has to be perfect, but it's something to aspire to, right? Like you want to get to that place. And it's a thing with these games, right? A lot of it's a vanity thing. You know? It's a vanity thing. I mean, like if you take away 5%, Like if I went and crafted a shit roll striker's mask, and it had like, they usually run when you go craft something at the heroic crafting bench, it's gonna pop out something like at 8 to 11% or some shit like that, right? If I ran that, if it wasn't god rolled, I'm not gonna even miss that damage, you know? I'm not. But we god roll everything because we want to, or because we fail to realize that that difference doesn't really matter. But if you can, and then you kind of get to the point as, you know, you accumulate so many resources, then it just gets to the point, well, you know, I might as well, what am I going to spend my resources on, right? But as a new player, you know, don't break your back at getting your build peaked out to god roll everything, you know, unless you know that's a build you're going to be using all the time, and then it's worth pumping in your resources, you know. But it's like that with every game. But like, you just have to make sure when you're a new player that this is a build you can be running. And so that's why we have certain videos like level 40, now what? Well, here's some core builds. You're going to need a countdown build. You're going to need a legendary build. You're going to need a skill build, which is also can be your legendary build if you want it to be. And so, and then generally an XP farm build. Take your pick. There's a couple, right? Or you could just use one of your DPS builds, but it's not necessarily the most efficient way to get XP, right? I mean, most people don't use Striker as an XP farm build. You can. You totally can. But, you know, the Eclipse build is an XP farm build, and it's also a legendary build, right? That can be your legendary build. And so if you realize that there's some crossover there, it's worth investing in those builds. An Eclipse with a Vile Mask, okay, is both one of the best legendary builds you could run, and you're supporting the team. So it's not a DPS build, but it's one of the best. Any team would love you for coming in with that build. You can neutralize any of the explosives, including Warhounds and Tech, if you put on the jammer. You can Riot Foam any of the enemies. You can neutralize the bosses, any of the bosses. You know, so it's just like one of the best builds. And then you can use it to get the best XP in the game. Solo. And so there's a crossover build. One that's worth peaking out to its minimum max. And one that's worth farming. You know, and it's got a couple of exotics. Not super hard. They're not locked behind raids. But, you know, you got the Vile Mask. You got the Scorpio Shotgun. Some named items too. But it's otherwise, it's not hard. It's not hard. With 4 pieces of Eclipse, if it's not perfect, don't sweat it. You know, when you're doing the solo farm for XP, you're playing on a challenging mode. You're stepping down a level so that enemies die faster. So you don't need your build to be min-maxed. And then the other one's a Striker build. I mean, if you had just those 2 builds in the game, you're pretty good. I mean, you're off to a great start. I'm not saying don't do any other builds, but those should be like 2 to focus on. And then if you don't want to do the Eclipse build, just a general skill build is good. And, you know, I advise on a Striker skill build. It just plays really well, and it's really strong, and you're still putting out good DPS. And it's easy to farm because the capacitor is easy to farm, which is assault rifle. You tend to pair with that. It's an exotic, and it's easy to get. Everybody can get it on day 1 and level 40. So it's a really good skill build, and people love this Striker skill build. It feels good. I might have it saved because it's an important build. Let me save this over something here. Yeah, I mean, there it is right there. But let me save this. It's probably not letting me because my stash is full. Hold on a second. Let me dump ship shit. Oh, I got a cold relations. That could go to garbage. No, junk. Let me put some stuff away because it's not letting me pull things in. Hold on, let's push over random shit. All right. Yeah, it's an important build. It's a popular version It's got just a minor twist in what other people do. Let's see. My gloves aren't here. They're probably on my other character. That's why I didn't bring it over. What were we running on these gloves? Do you remember? I think it might be an electric there. Okay, so let me just go craft one so you can visualize it. You can take a screenshot. I might not have my did the weapon come over? It didn't. So not everything came over. So let me just walk you through it. I won't craft it anything, but that's it. So what's different about the one that I run is mostly the specialization. You'll see a lot of people run something else. What do they always run? Survivalist, maybe technician. Survivalist for team is helpful. Okay, but the reason why I'm running this is because this is the XP farm version. And so I'm running the flamethrower. You use the flamethrower a lot. A lot. You never use your guns, okay? And so, and I'm running all directives when I do this. And so you don't have much in the ammo section anyways, but sometimes you'll put out a shot or two, and that's gonna be your Scorpio shotgun. So your Scorpio shotgun goes here, not the St. Elmo's. I mean, you could do the St. Elmo's, but the Scorpio. And then here is going to be the Eclipse or electric. Okay, and you're going to put, I don't have one here, but you're going to put status effects and you're going to put skill damage. Okay, so if you look everywhere else, it's status effects. Status effects, I mean, so that's easy. You're going to have these, right? You should have Eclipse with status effects, and then all your mods are going to be skill haste. You don't need too much skill haste because for solo XP farming, you're only going to use 2 skills, and you got way more than that accessible, right? So you're gonna hit them with the explosive sticky. You're gonna surprise attack them with that, and then you follow up with this chem if you need to. But Eclipse will spread on everybody, and the Vile Exotic is extremely strong. So as soon as they succumb to a status effect, or as soon as they're affected by a status effect, this debuff kicks in. So they're going to get a tick from the status effect, damage over time, and then they're going to get a tick from toxic delivery, which is the Eclipse, so they get 2 things from damage over time, and then they're going to get the direct, I guess what we'll call weapon damage from the fire itself on impact, which is going to help the spread because you got to kill at least one guy's got to die. So what ends up happening is I hit him with this, and then if he's taking too long to die, then I hit him with my torch. Either way, I only use my skill once, and then there's always a second wave. I hit the second wave with the torch, and they're toasted. Or anybody that's rushing you, I just hit them with the torch. They're toasted. And then you get unlimited torch ammo because it's really easy to earn it when they're dying by fire. So this is just an OP solo farm build. It's also a speedrun build for those league events, if you're doing those. I completed the zoo in 17 minutes using this build solo. So, and it's all about, the torch is an important thing in there, okay? So you gotta run the torch. Gotta run the torch. Because there's some rooms, like for example, where you'll walk into a room and the first guy that's there is one of those exploding dudes, one of the suicide vest guys. Either way, you don't have, in some rooms, you need to get that kill and the fire out, both things immediately, and the torch is going to do that for you. It's not only going to kill that guy basically instantly, but he's also going to catch on fire and spread the fire. So it's going to do both, and so it's the strongest fire in the game. And so you can actually explicitly use the torch 100% of the time. You could main that for this build, and that would be okay. But you have the sticky bomb anyways, so you might as well use it. And as far as the chem launcher, this is a fire chem launcher. I almost never use it. This is backup. This is backup in case I got somebody way out there range, but this works. And so let me show you. I'll go ahead and demonstrate this. I don't even need the gloves, but this is how you're going to want to use it. Let me just demonstrate it for you. So we'll go into the map, and then we're going to change this. Okay, so if you're into XP farming, this is one of the best ways to do it, especially if you're new. So you're going to change this to your global You want to go to challenging. The reason why is because heroic enemies don't die fast enough by fire because there's too many elites. And so it eats up your time of that damage over time. So it won't spread as well. So that's why you don't want to do this on heroic if you're XP farming. But obviously this build is awesome for legendary group play, so don't sweat it. But for legendary group, I would probably run Riot Foam and a Pulse for tech. Riot Foam for the bad guys, a Pulse for their tech. Okay, here we go. And then for directives, you can run all of them. All right, it doesn't matter the cool skills because you're only going to use your skill once. Oops. All right. And then save that, and then we can fast travel. So, well, we'll let these things reset, but we're going to go take on... you can take on anything you want, but you want to aim for public executions. Everybody knows this by now, but it's one of the best farms because of how fast they go and how easy they are and how predictable they are. So the first time you do this, you're not going to have each of these memorized. But as you start repeating your loop, they're very predictable. They always spawn from the same spot, you know? So you're like, oh, I remember this one. So let's find one. And then they randomly spawn all over the map. So you're just kind of always looking for one. And you just kind of fast travel to the closest one. There we go. So we see that one. So let's mark it, and then I'll fast travel here, and it'll make a quick jog. This is actually one of the more annoying ones because the second spawn is a little bit comes from far away. But anyways, you get tons of loot, tons of XP, all directives, and you get in this really good routine. If you make a mistake and you die, no pressure, you know. All right. And whatever weapon you're holding, you want damage to armor. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and run this shotgun. So damage to armor is going to help your ticks. Am I remembering that right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I know for bleed it does. I think damage to armor helps fire too, though. Correct me if I'm wrong there. I don't want to give you bad info, but I think that's right. Definitely for bleed, you want damage to armor. I can't remember for fire. Because I usually have damage to armor anyways because I'm running the Scorpio, so I usually have it on anyways. Okay, so the only thing is when you start out at first, you're not going to have that special ammo yet. Hold on, I'm going to die. Make me go here. You're very squishy, so you don't want to get in street fights. You don't. And apparently this is going to take a half hour to fucking load. Yeah, I started with Division 1. I started Migo there, and I played for a while, and it kind of got boring, I think, for everybody. And at that point, I left for Battlefield 4 or something like that. And then I never came back to the Division 1, and then they introduced all that new stuff, like the Underworld and whatever, which everybody loved. So I never explored the Underworld. Which is sad because people love it, and I don't typically go back to old games. Once I leave them, I'm gone. Like, there's a number 2. Why am I going to play number 1? You know what I mean? Like, I don't play Battlefield number 3, even if it was better than Battlefield number 4. There's Battlefield number 3. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't play Division 1. I mean, I'm surprised it's still being maintained. If I had to choose. Division 2, for sure. I mean, I think sometimes they do events over there, but the community's got to be tiny. Some people, as far as I know, the people that played it from this community mostly do it from a nostalgic perspective, you know? Oh, I wouldn't play Division 1, you know? And they do it from time to time, but I don't know personally, or I can't recall anybody saying that they played on the regular basis, like it's their game. Yeah, great game though. This is the one. So the first thing you're doing really is your first steps in XP farming with this build. So you want to start from range, so it's always a surprise attack. I mean, as soon as that guy dies, everybody dies. Yeah. But what you're really doing on your first run is you're earning your special ammunition, which you need to be really, to make this build really shine. Because when I have my special ammo, so there's some right there. It's laying in the field. So when I have that, I'll rush these guys. Like, you don't need your skills multiple times. Let's get that guy out of my way. All right. And by the way, the Tusk does suck to fight with this build, because you're armed for NPCs, not tech. So you really don't want to pick the Tusk ones. Because if there's a Warhound, it sucks. Or if there's a tank, it sucks. All right, so now we're ready to do this for real. But we'll take the bounty, we'll get our XP and then some goodies, and we're done. Collect the bounties. You don't have to do the bounties, collect them though, because they'll come in handy later. Okay, so now we got ammo. So now we can do this for real. Let's find another one. So there's one right there. Is there another one closer to a fast travel point? I always look for those. I stay in these zones. You don't have to, but I do some up here too. Okay, here's one up here. So let's take that one. It doesn't really care. You don't really care who you fight, but sometimes the outcasts have those big sledgehammer guys. They can be annoying. If you have your, that's where your shotgun comes in handy. So if you get one of those big sledgehammer guys with the outcast, then put a couple shots in him. But you don't want to fight the Black Tusk, because if they have a Warhound, you're just like, oh. Because you're prepared for NPCs with your fire, right? Your fire's not going to do shit against a Warhound. There's a way, by the way, there's a shotgun that can debuff him. And I think Firewall carries that shotgun, but in the heat of it, it's kind of a pain in the ass to have to switch to that shotgun. Okay, so what I'm going to do might be a little rusty, but we're going to hit him with this. To help him die. Then it spreads. And everybody's dead. Now you got to brace for the next wave. So I whip out my shotgun. And you get better at this because you learn where the waves are. They're always the same. So just got to kill one guy. And the rest die. And we're done. It's done. And that's how fast they go. And they go even faster as you get accustomed to it, because you start to learn where they are. And that's 281,000 XP. And this gets you, what is it, guys? Up to 20 levels an hour? Up to? But I would say like 15 on average. I mean, you get efficient with it. And so some people say it gets them more. But if you're running in a team, then it's gonna be harder, because you're not gonna burn them as fast, because they're gonna start to get tankier. So you want to do this relatively solo. But so the idea is not to stand around doing things. So as soon as you're done, you just move on to the next. So you get right back into your map and find your next one, and then find the closest fast travel point. So we'll take this one. Find your fastest fast travel point, and then swing on over there. Yeah, it's really fun build. It's really fun. I mean, you get really proficient with it, you know. And I remember, I'm not running the real build. I'm missing two very key components. The Scorpio is your emergency measures, right? So, but it also debuffs the enemies, staggers them, does all sorts of crazy shit, right? But notice how I never use my chem launcher. And so you're always gonna get special ammo when you kill these guys. But really try to avoid unnecessary fights. It's going to take away from your XP. They don't give you shit. They're going to use your ammo. They're going to put you on cooldowns. I'd run faster if I could, but this is as good as it fucking gets in this game. Oops. Forgot I didn't have my shotgun in hand. See, there's one of the big fat guys. So he's going to take a little more encouragement, you know? And so this is why you might want to pick your zones. I had suspected that he might be in here. So let me switch over to my shotgun because I don't want to waste ammo on him. That's why the Scorpio, you need the Scorpio. It's just for him, you know? We have ammo directives, so that's why you want the Scorpio because it's the stronger one. All right, let me heal up. And for these guys, sometimes the rusher could be a mistake to hit on the first because he's so fast that he's ahead of the group. So that's why I didn't spread there. There we go. And we're down. So I ran out of ammo because the rusher was a problem, right? So you learn those little nuances of these things. We're done. And so the rusher is so fast that he gets ahead of his homies, and so you catch him on fire. He dies, but he doesn't spread it, so I had to hit another guy. But eventually you have more special ammo than you can deal with. So it's not really a problem. So no reason to stick around for the extra fight. You got your XP and then you go. All right. Anyways, that's my quick demonstration. I'm not going to get too into it though. What up, Steve-O? Yeah, it's a really fun build. Like every time I log in, like especially when we're in kind of sort of quiet times in the Division 2, like this is a really good build to demonstrate because it's always a topic, you know? And it's not my XP farm. I have a different XP farm and it's a build also. And so that's why I say the best XP farms in the game isn't really the activity, it's the farm, it's the build, right? So you don't have to do those particular activities. You can do zonal, right? You can play that whole zone and just stick to that zone. Like around the monument, like all these activities, just do all of these. Just keep going in a circle. You're gonna get those activities too. But it's just a popular one because it is what it is. So, you know, but we've tested all of this. It always nets out to the same. It doesn't really come down to the activity. But I do control points because I want the tougher fight, but I got a build that makes it feel like I'm doing it on challenging or hard mode. You guys have all seen that build probably by now. It's the Hunter's Fury 1886 build. It's crazy. You know, you run determined. You don't even really need to be good at headshots, but you're one-shotting everything, and it makes it feel easy. And, you know, and I've tested that against this Eclipse build, and I come out personally with the same XP on both sides. So whether I'm doing my XP farm build with Hunter's Fury or on Heroic doing control points, or whether I'm doing it challenging with the Eclipse build, it comes and those activities, public executions, I still come out with the same XP. And the devs did that on purpose, right? They don't want one to stick out because then everybody would be doing just that. So the difference is that when somebody's, if you were a new player, I would point you to the Eclipse. Now you're squishy, but that doesn't really maintain as an issue. Did all my directives not stay? Was I only running 2 directives? I thought I had all directives. I was pretty sure I turned those on. Anyways, that you're squishy, but you're killing them so fast they hardly get a shot out on you. And as you get better at it, because you memorize where they're spawning from every time, you're standing in front of the door with your torch, and they open the door and they're dead. You know, and then you start learning which of those public executions suck because of who you might encounter, so you stay away from those ones, you know? And so for me, I stick to the monument, and I stick to the Southwest and the East Mall, and I just do those in that area. I don't go, oh, and I do the White House one as well. Everything in the White House zone. So, but anything outside of that, you can get into some very annoying enemies, like the hyenas sometimes have that big, heavy chain boss guy, obviously the Black Tusk. And then you can run into the big sledgehammer guy. It's not a big issue, but it slows you down. You uses too much ammo, and it's just, you don't need to. You don't need to. So there's that. But the reason why I don't always recommend my way is because there's also mechanics, and those can be confusing for people, you know, and it's also heroic control points aren't easy, right? There's it takes a lot of situational awareness, and I'm not talking about the kind that you come in with. I'm talking about the kind you earn by playing that control point 100,000 times. And so that situational awareness is part of my survivability. So even though I'm unkillable, and it's probably the strongest XP farm build in the game, it's like I can still die if I didn't have that intelligence, right? Like if I didn't earn my knowledge in that control point. Like I know where they're going to come from. I have a general idea of where they're going to come from. There's a variable there, but I generally know where they're going to come from, and that just goes a long ways. And so it helps me with where I'm going to be and when I'm going to be there. And so I'm one tapping everything, but things could quickly go wrong if I didn't have that knowledge. And so that's why it's a little bit different. And then also it's just like, okay, you got to get one shot with your Nemesis, and then you got to switch to your 1886, activate Determined. And for us that's been around a long time, like that's baby talk. That's baby. Yeah, baby can do that. That's what we think. But for a new player, it's just like, wait, what do I got to do? You know, I got to first get a headshot kill with the Nemesis, and then switch to 1886, and then get another kill with the head. Why aren't I one-shotting things? I can't one-shot things. Nobody's dying. We get this question and be like, this is the mechanic. You're skipping the mechanic, usually, you know? And so but it's something to graduate to, you know? Yeah, 80 cents is 80% the max, yeah. And so the thing about the directives and skills, right? So one of the directives is like, you might be thinking like, and this is fair, and you don't have to run all 5 directives. Go with what you want, right? But like, let me talk you into it for a sec. You might be thinking like, why would I run cool skills? You know, you can run any of these, okay? On this level, even Ragers. But you'd be like, I'm running a skill build. Why would I run cool skills? So it's because of your torch. You're using your torch. So you're using your sticky once, and then you're using your torch once. That's it. And you maybe put out a shot or 2 with your shotgun just to help somebody die a little bit faster, who's already dying, right? So he's burning to death, and he's waving his arms, and you're just gonna hit him with your shotgun, your Scorpio, a couple of times, just so he hurries up and dies. So you don't take any damage. Because the longer he sits there burning out, the other guys are going to start shooting at you. So you want the first guy to die fast. And then when everybody else is on fire, before they're even dead, you start running to the spawn. And that's why public executions are nice, is because the spawn is always the same at that location. And you're going to have it memorized. You can't help it. You're going to memorize it. And so you're already running to the spawn before everybody dies. And then they all finally die. And then that door opens. You burn them all with your torch. You don't need to burn them all. You just need to burn one guy, right? And now you just hit them with the strongest fire in the game. So they're all gonna wipe faster than the first group. So what you're having to learn are two things. One is where that spawn is going to be every time. You want to learn that so you get through these faster and without taking damage. And number two is you start to learn, you need to program your muscle memory on your torch, because you don't want to over torch people, because then you're burning valuable ammo. You're going to keep getting it and you're going to get more than you can really use, but there are times, that you might need that extra ammo. So you learn the timing, like you just need them to catch on fire. You don't need to keep torching them, They just need to be on fire, and they don't go on fire right away. There's like a 1,000 to 1,000, like 1.5 counts, 1,000 to 1, and they're on fire, something like around that. I have it all kind of programmed into my hand, and sometimes I go accidentally too much. It's not a big deal, but I'm just saying you don't want to sit there and cake them in fire, just catch them on fire, let them burn out. But all right, that's my spiel. XP. All right, everybody, Division 2. We will see you on Saturday more, and then tomorrow we will be doing the First Ascendant. Thanks for hanging with me, folks. We will catch you on the next one.